Hello, everyone. Welcome to another First Year Experience podcast. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Jerry Galindo, my other co-host, Natasha Gonzalez, and our special guest for today is our fellow guru, Shay Puente. Do you want to introduce yourself, Shay? Tell us a little bit about your major, what you do.
Sure. I am a guru, just like the rest of y'all. And I'm also a junior. It always takes me a second to think about that. Majoring in philosophy and minoring in art and expressive arts. And I'm also working as a resident assistant at the dorms.
Oh, that's cool. And today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about our work and our work and school balance. So, work and school balance, what is it? Does anyone have the answer?
It's difficult. It's hard. It's annoying.
It is.
It's something that takes time to find. I feel like I'm just finding that still today. Like I still feel like sometimes I have too much focus in work and not enough focus on my studies. And I think and then sometimes we feel like we're doing too much studies and not enough work. So or too much Netflix and not enough work. So it's hard to find that balance, but I feel like it's ever changing.
Yeah. Jerry, that's a good thing that you brought up, like the Netflix, is because I think sometimes I get so focused on its work, school, that I never give myself time to just chill. And then I get all stressed. So yeah, I think adding in life into your work and school and life and make the balance, it is hard, but
yeah. So I guess it is work, school, life balance, because it's not shouldn't be just the two. I think it's kind of complicated. I think we all go through it a bit different, but I mean, we're gonna just share a little bit of our experience and maybe even like how we found the jobs and how we're doing.
So I guess I can go first in terms of where I started. So when I was a freshman, I used to work at the student union, and that was like a facilities oriented job where I was constantly on my feet and always, always doing something. And sadly, I didn't have the support structure there to keep me from overworking myself. And it was a tough balance to find there specifically, because it wasn't like now where I can, so easily switch between doing homework and doing school, doing work. And then I moved over to student media, where that line was drawn a little bit more, where it was encouraged to take a break every now and then, clear your head, get back to working. And I still feel like I never found my balance there. I feel like it was hard to find that balance because I was doing coursework, because I was taking journalism classes while doing journalism as a job. So it was like I was never leaving. It was like I was never actually alternating between anything, because I was either I was writing a story for work or I was writing a story for class. So I never was able to draw the line between works and studies. It just felt like it was all one thing, and it was super stressful and I hated it. And then I love now working with first year experience. I feel like it's so much more refreshing, because now I can take classes that are completely different from what I'm already doing for my job, and I'm able to help students and help them find that balance. And I don't know, it's been a rocky road, I feel, but I feel now more than ever I'm confident, and when to say I'm doing too much and when to say I'm not doing enough, assign me something. So, and I couldn't have done any of that without our great leadership here that we have, Andy as our, as our student lead, and then our amazing bosses. They're always encouraging of taking a break, and when you need it, let us know. So that's personally like my experience and how I've like come here, but I don't know who else wants to go first.
I can go. So this is like my first job, and I am the type of person that likes to go 110% on everything. So when I started, like it was summer, so I didn't have much schoolwork, and I feel like I did like 1,000 things, and now it's like transitioning into fall and having more classes. It was hard because I was just like I can't do all these 1,000 things anymore. Like I need to
Right.
break it down and um figure out how I'm gonna manage all my classes, because like I'm doing like full time, and like also like still doing my duties here at work. And so something that I found was to schedule like my days sort of. So I have classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I choose to focus on work on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So like I do my very, very best to keep it like that, but sometimes like if I forget to film a meal Monday, there I am on Monday morning filming. But I do my very best to try to like keep it regimented, so I'm not like staying up at 4 in the morning trying to finish something for work, or like
Right.
at 11:59 trying to finish something for school right before it's due. But yeah, I think keeping a planner has really helped me kind of keep my work and school separate. And I actually have two different planners. I have like this desk planner for my work, and then I have like a more traditional planner for school. And it just helps me keep track of all the assignments and all of like the tasks at work that I need to do.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I only have one, and I only started using it like this year, when I got this job. And I feel like before I would think that I wouldn't need it, and I would just do everything as I went, and try to keep dates in my mind or write them in a random piece of paper, but I would lose everything, and then I would forget everything, and then due dates would pass me by, and I was just very unorganized. But that's an interesting idea, and I think it's very useful to have a planner or two like you. Shay, you want to share a little bit?
Yeah. I think I try to do the same thing as Natasha, kind of where I write it down, like especially like the night before. I like to like write down everything I'm gonna do for the day and everything I'm gonna try to get done. And even if you don't end up getting everything done, I think it's important to like celebrate small victories. But I think a big trouble comes out of staying consistent with that. Like for me, I've always wanted to like make a journal and stuff, but I get it. I buy a new journal and I'm like, okay, this will be the time. And I write down like an entry for like maybe 2 days. And then like a whole 3 months will go by and I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't write in the journal. So it's hard to stay consistent. I think being in college, like these past 3 years has really taught me that you're constantly going to be learning how to go about every scheduling, going about being a person in the world. And you're never going to have like, I don't want to say willpower is a myth, but willpower is like, you can't like be sitting there the whole day thinking, oh, I'll do this when I feel like I want to do it, because you need to just like get up and do it, or else you're going to live your life like a cat. And I'd love to live like a cat, but I'm not a cat, unfortunately.
That's the dream.
But also like Jerry, I started my freshman year, I worked the student union, and that gave me some good structure a little bit, like learning how to like seeing that I could handle a job and studying at the same time. But at the same time, like it is hard. It's really hard to just be present. Like even if you're not doing a lot, it's hard to just like really get yourself to go and do things. But
just a little pause for a second. Maria and Stephanie, we're using we'll edit this out, but we're using this Zoom to do the podcast. So you guys can join in. I can have you guys join in, but just to let you know, because I feel like we're just talking.
Yeah, I had already let Maria know. I was about to tell Stephanie through chat what our topic was.
Do we need earphones, or is it okay without it?
It's okay.
I think it's okay.
Oh, like we're not doing the sorry, like where you record through the phone, or not that, right?
I completely forgot.
No, yeah, we forgot to do it. But okay. I mean, do you guys want to join?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep going like that didn't happen. I like what you were saying, Shay, about making a list before going to bed. I feel like it's useful to have it laid out like that, and then it feels good to check things off. It feels really good. I feel like that's a really good technique. We also have with us today Maria de Andar and Stephanie Valle, which are another set of gurus that are here to tell us a little bit about their experience with their work, school, and what was the other one?
Life.
And life balance. Yes.
Well, hi, my name is Maria. Thank you, Gerson. I mean, yeah, this is my 4th year, and I can just say that things change all the time. Like, I didn't come in, like, I guess I came in with like a certain mindset, and just with everything that I've been through, like it just changes. I agree with Nat and Shay about the planner. I also have 2 planners. One like for my table where it's all of like events and work, and another one specifically for school. And I guess an advice or a tip, it can be consistent, but don't be scared if things change, because anything can happen, unexpected things can happen, and just the plan just goes out of like completely changes. And like, even though I hate that, I kind of got used to it, because again, it's part of life. It's part of like how it is. Like, you know, I have certain things for classes, but then I got this job, and then like, okay, that came in the way. So I got this job last year in the end of summer, and then like that semester, the fall semester, I had a practicum. So I had to balance between an internship, work, and this pandemic.
Wow.
So it was, I mean, the good thing about if you want to find a job on campus, it's that they're very flexible. They're really nice. So if they work with your schedule, and I mean, yeah, it was just balancing it. So it's like I would do my internship from 8 to 1, and then work from like 2 to 5, and like just finding that balance. But yeah, I like, before, I guess like my sophomore year, I always thought like, oh, I can't do both things. Like, I did have another job, but that was on the weekends. So it's like I had all the week to do homework, and then the weekend was work. But again, later, like through joining organizations or adding more things, like you start finding yourself, and you're like, okay, you know what, maybe I'll try something new. I'll try these 2 things, and then you add 3 things. And again, it's all of how much you can like do. Don't push yourself. I know a lot of people, you know, they're like, they have a lot of things, but just like, you know, breathe in and breathe out, relax, try something new, try something that helps you relax. I know that the university offers a lot of things, so that would be one of my tips.
Yeah, and to find a hobby, I think is very important. Something to just pass the time and relax, and maybe even let your creativity flow in different ways.
Yeah, have some like you time or me time.
Yes. Stephanie, do you wanna?
Yes. Okay. Well, hello everyone. I'm Stephanie, and just like Maria said, it's all about having a balance. So let me just tell you a little bit about my experiences with working and school and all of that. So this is my third year, and I have been working the full 3 years. I actually started to work when I was a senior in high school. So when starting college, I actually bought my first car. So like I was kind of committed to working. Like I had to work as I had to pay my car. Like there's no other way. But I already got used to working from because I had worked the previous year before that. And well, yeah, it can get hard. I didn't work for the school, the university during my first 2 years. I think it was I started to work for the university in June of 2019. So it's gonna be like 2 years already. And I graduate this semester, so it'll be 2 years out of the 3 that I worked for the university. And I could like for sure say that it's 100 times better to work for the university than to not work for the university if you want a job while studying, because having a job outside of the university can get super hard. They're not so understanding on, your hours, or that you have like school. To them it's like, well, like it's like they're gonna think like, why is it my problem? Like you're working for me also. So, and with the university, they work around that. They want you to prioritize your studies. Like they understand that they're gonna encourage you to do that. So like if you need a day off, like they're just gonna say like just ask for it and we'll like give you the day off.
Yeah.
Or it's not so much of a difficult thing to like if you have an important exam coming up, like they'll ask you like, what is your exam schedule? Do you need any days off? And I mean, worst comes to worst, you could just call in and be like, I don't feel good today, or like I'm overwhelmed, and they're gonna be like, it's totally okay, like take the day for yourself. So that's the difference between working in somewhere else where like that's outside the university, they just don't care. It's like, okay, like we'll find someone to cover, not have to. So it is difficult, but just, and I highly recommend to work for the university. And I have actually done I was doing 19 hours my last like last 4 semesters, because I wanted to finish fast, and I wouldn't have been able to do that not working for the university. I would have been so much more stressed out.
Yeah.
So it just makes a big difference, and it's just really having to balance everything. And if you're a procrastinator like me, it's better to get your homework done while you're on campus. Like, of course, that's pre-COVID, that I would like to get my work done, my homework and everything while still on campus, because then I come home and I get distracted. I'll either spend too much time on my phone or on Netflix, or something will come up. So yeah, what I would do is get my homework done while I'm on campus, so I could just enjoy the rest of the day at home or still have a social life, because if not, you're always going to be doing homework or you're going to be at work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's interesting right now, because we don't have, most of us don't have that change of setting between work and the rest of your life, because we're doing it from home. I'm not right now, I'm in campus, but usually I'm at home when I'm working. And yeah, I think you have to, like we were talking about, set your own time limits. Give yourself specific time when you're gonna work and specific time when you're gonna do homework, and let the rest of the time is yours. Yeah, I started working on campus, I think in 2019. Before being a guru, I worked with the medical school, with the medical school. And that was a super easy job. It was part-time, but like really part-time, like the smallest part-time, because I would only go like twice a week, every 2 weeks, something like that. It was just very little hours, and they paid pretty good, but it was just a job that didn't require that much time from me. I was it was called what would they call it? Student. I forgot what it was called. But basically, I would just learn a script and then the medical students would kind of ask me questions as if I was their patient. So it was really fun. But yeah, like I said, it was a really easy job. And then I got this job in 2019 in the summer, and it requires a bit more, but it's still pretty lenient. Like Stephanie was saying, since it's work with school, they're pretty understanding.
So guys, overall, since some of you are, because I'm graduating this semester and like I'm not gonna have a job, but I'm still looking at things. Following that, some of you still have a few more years, like from what you've learned this past semester, these past 2 semesters, I don't know what some advice you can give to I would know, like, to students who are trying to like get a job on campus, or like things that can encourage them to get it, because I need it for when I try to look for my full-time job.
I think at least for the on-campus jobs, it's good to, well, even for jobs outside of like when you graduate, your job it doesn't have to be like your career, but it can just be a stepping stone. And that's the same for on-campus jobs. I know there's a lot of students who they've never worked a job before, and so they're really nervous to apply because they think like, oh, I don't know, like I've never had a job before. What if I don't get hired? What if I blah 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 happens? What if I don't do good? But it's all just like stepping stones. Like that's what on-campus jobs are so good for, is that you're really like outside jobs, you're learning how to service people and things like that too. But on campus, you're really like applying it to what you do, because like your bosses are all there to help you, and they're all there to be assisting you to help you out in school and make sure that you're doing good in your studies at the same time as having a job. So I think it's definitely important to remember that it's okay, like if you fail at first or if you don't get hired right away, but you're gonna be stepping up from it, basically.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
usually people don't really get hired on the first, your first round of applications. Like I actually, when I first wanted to work for the university, I submitted so many applications, and then on Handshake it actually shows you like reviewed or pending, or like it'll tell you exactly something. So then what I did was I reached out to the department, and then they started my interview, and from there, they hired me. So it's also another good tip to like reach out to them so they can know like you're really interested, or like so you could stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, that's very useful. Send them like a just a little email after sending your actual application. Maybe tell them that I don't know, like you're excited to hear from them, or something like that. I think that's a really useful tip. And yeah, I applied for a lot of jobs before getting this one, and I think I'm very lucky that I got this one because this is the one I wanted. But I applied for a lot of different things at school, and they didn't call me.
I agree on the fact that communication is also key. I got this job because of who's now my supervisor. He was my UNIV professor, and that was 3 years ago. I stayed in touch with him because he did help me a lot, and he had emailed me about this position, and like in the summer, and I wasn't sure because I had summer classes, and I'm like I know I don't do well with like doing 2 things at a time, but it kind of encouraged me, and I applied and I ended up getting it. So I think, again, another tip would be communication. Like there's a lot of professors on campus that, like, if you're on a specific college, or is there a specific route that you want to do, like like I know some of them offer research opportunities, or they offer like positions as well. So again, communication could be a really good tool.
my biggest tip would be to like take advantage of our resources. Um, like I was saying, some students might be fearful because they've never had a job. And maybe because they've never had a job, they've never had a resume or had to create one or don't have any interview skills, have never practiced that before. And so like our career center is like great for that. They have like like experts who will go with you through your resume to see which areas you can improve. They hold like mock interviews so you can like actually practice like being interviewed by someone. Like that's my biggest tip. Before I got this job, that's what I did. Like I went and was like, I need help with my resume, can you, because like I had one from like high school that I did for like a competition, and so I like really just put whatever on there, and he was like, okay, you can fix this and make it sound more professional, like use your school email instead of like your personal email so they know that you're a student. Like just different things like that. And like we did a mock interview, and like I was so scared because I'd never had been interviewed before, but it really helped me get the nerves out beforehand, before I was actually interviewed. Because for this job I was interviewed for like but like 6 or 7 people, and it's like 6 against 1. It's so scary. But like I already had that confidence that it's like, oh, I know, like if they ask me this question, I know what I'm going to answer. So like the career center really just helped me get prepared for applying for this position. So yeah, that would be my biggest tip.
There's a lot of useful resources, and a lot of us don't even know that they're there, and we need to take advantage of them.
I guess just to go back, I like my freshman year, I was applying for so many jobs left and right when I was coming in, like during the summer, when I was about to start my fall semester, and it was the places that I didn't expect to call me back that called me back. And it was very odd because I had this like vision of like applying for these jobs I really wanted. And yeah, of course, like it's never gonna go as planned. And it was like the last interview I had with the student union that I was like, let me try it out and let's just see what happens. And that was the one that I got hired with. So I would just say, stay persistent to anyone that's applying for jobs, call all the time, be like, hey, I submitted my application last week. I just wanted to make sure like it was received, like be persistent. Departments will recognize that. They'll see that you have you have a commitment to the job. And just overall, reach out to the Career Center at utrgv, get your, make sure you have the best resumes for a handshake. It's all about like the small things that go a long way. And I think for sure, if anything, if you keep that persistence up, you can get applied your first year or even your second year. It's never too late, and it's never too early to start looking for jobs on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to sum it up, yeah, like don't get it discouraged because it does take a lot of time, and it might be that they hire you with the first application you submit, but it might be that you have to apply to a lot of different jobs, and it's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes they're looking for specific people or whatever, or they already have someone in mind, but it doesn't mean that you're not a good fit, so just don't get discouraged and keep applying. And when you get the job, just try to balance it all out. That's what we're talking about, right? Don't get too obsessive with it, I guess, because it happens. And also don't slack, because then they're gonna fire you. Yeah, I think we covered some pretty good stuff today. Any other remarks that you guys wanna say? Remark?
Just that you guys got this. I know it might seem like difficult or scary, but like we're vaqueros. we're able to handle this. So like we know you guys can too.
Yeah. And we're all here to help you. Your teachers are here to help. I mean, your professors are here to help you. Us as gurus, you can contact us with any questions you have. Yeah, so this has been another episode of the FYE podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to my co-host for sharing a little bit about your work lives today.